Hi, this is Kathy Weymouth from Tune the Temple, and we're in a series about codependent relationships. And this is video 3. In video 1, I just introduced the topic of what this relationship looks like between two individuals. And then in the second video, I talked about how this type of relationship is actually harmful to both people. And so today, what I want to do is just take what I've already shared and sort of lay it out in diagrams so you can see the cycle of how one person's need feeds the other person, and then the cycle continues because those needs are being met by each other. Okay, so if you haven't watched video 1 and 2, please pause this video, go back and watch both of those because the videos are in sequence with information. Okay, so codependent relationships are basically ones where it's between two people who one person feels it's their responsibility to take care of another person to an unhealthy extreme measure. So this is not talking about caregivers or parenting. This is talking about an enmeshment between people that's out of balance. Okay, now let me just share my screen and show you some of these diagrams that I created. And okay, so in this codependent relationships, two people exist. So let's see if I can get to this second screen. It's been a while since I used Zoom. Okay, now let's talk about person A, which most likely is what you are. That's most likely the people that would be watching these videos and listening to my teachings. Okay, so person A, does this fit you? Let's look at the list on the right. Person A loves to help, loves to give to others, loves to fix problems, even fixing people feel like it's their responsibility, wants to make sure that people are happy and that people are not uncomfortable or suffering. Okay. They love to solve other people's problems. They often deny themselves and they're selfless by giving to others while neglecting their own needs. So it's a really key thing of person A. And then the problem is that over time they become resentful of all the help that they're giving to someone else. Okay. But this person A is a giver. They love to help people. So let's look at the cycle on the left. So I'm starting down here. So start here. I'm starting this person's circle on the bottom. Person A is a person who says, oh, I see a need, whether you say it consciously or not. I see a need, okay? And then the person steps in because it's my job to fix or to help that person in need. I don't want them to suffer. So I step in and I come around here and I meet their need. And then I feel so good because I've helped. I have been needed. It builds my self-esteem. And then that causes me to keep going and watching for more needs. I'm very diligent in watching this other person. And then I see another need, or the need comes around the next month. And then since it's my job to fix, and I don't want them to suffer, then I'm going to step in and fix that need. Okay, so this person A, because you're so your esteem is built up by being a helper, by giving, by being needed. This cycle just continues for you over and over and over again. Okay, so that's person A. This is the codependent person. Okay, describes me. Does it describe you? Okay, next slide. The other person in the codependent relationship is, let's start it over here on the right, a person that tends to blame others for their problems. They don't take care of their own responsibilities, typically. They want others to come in and rescue them and pick up the responsibilities for them. And therefore, they're feeling very entitled that the world is supposed to be taking care of them, that they are not supposed to step in and do their own responsibilities. So they're irresponsible. And often, this kind of person is an addict of some form. Whether it's shopaholic or alcoholic or drug addict, et cetera, food addict. Okay, so let's look at their cycle. On the right is starting here at the top where the asterisk is. They have a need. For example, maybe they are not holding down a full-time job and they need a place to live. Okay, so they have a big need. So they are looking for someone to fix that need. It's just glaringly obvious that they need help, right? So someone comes in and steps and fixes their need, and then they're like, good, the need is met. I'm all set. I'm happy. And I didn't have to do a thing. Okay. So then of course, needs come back around, and then there's going to be another need. And then someone steps in and the need is met. and the cycle continues. This person stays irresponsible, okay, because someone has been enabling them to stay right where they're at. Okay, that's the taker or the needy person. Now, let's look at how these relationships work together. So I just drew these two circles and put them together. So over here is person A saying, I see a need, and they're looking at this person over here. This is where their eyes are. They're consumed with this person. They're concerned about them. They're hyper focused on them. So here along, they see a need. See, there's this need here, and they're seeing this need. So they step in, person A. I step in. I've done this in the past. I'm trying not to do it anymore, but a person steps in to meet this very specific need. Okay, the need is met. The irresponsible person then doesn't have to face any kind of consequence. And the next time a need is met, they're all good to go. They're living fine and dandy because here's person A rescuing them and taking care of that need. Then person A, of course, feels good about themselves because I'm needed, I've helped, I feel so good, my job is to fix, and I fix this, and I'm loving this person. I am loving them by taking care of them. That's how you feel, okay? Now, this cycle continues with the needs being met by person A. Person B just continually gets, so could be that you are housing a young adult who's not working and you're not expecting any kind of payment and there's no rent being collected and you are giving them room and board for free and they are just continually living with you. Okay, and you were hoping for an empty nest. Okay, all right, I just want to show you just some consequences that happen over long term. Person A continues to enable person B, and the long-term consequences of that person A does start to feel resentful and as well as exhausted and drained because you're doing the work. You are focusing on them. You are emotionally in tune with them all the time and watching how they're doing. And you don't want them to be unhappy. You don't want them to suffer. But you know what the problem is that you are getting burnt out. Eventually could be a severe burnout. You don't want to go there, but you are caught into believing that you are loving this person to life. You are loving them to life is what you're thinking. You're giving them life. You're supporting them in this life. And then person B over here, they are continually bailed out. So what's the long-term consequence? They don't face what needs to be addressed in their life. They don't need to, right? It's all been fixed and taken care of. They stay addicted, they stay irresponsible, and they remain dependent on person A or other person A's they might find in their life that they can suck into their life to take care of them. Okay, so this is harmful to both people, all right? Now, what is the solution? Like, how does this codependent relationship get resolved? Okay, well, I hate to tell you, but it's got to start with person A. Okay, that's probably you, like this is me. What you need to do here, so what I'm showing here is your top, in the top of the same diagram, but what the person A has to stop doing is they have to stop fixing. So number one, person A stops fixing a problem in person B's life. Now, I'm going to give strategies about that over the next video or two. But how do you stop? Okay, well, I'm not addressing that yet, but I just want your eyes to see that as long as you are enabling person B, they're going to stay irresponsible and you're going to stay resentful and exhausted. Okay, but if you stop right here and you don't fix something in their life, then their need is not being met. So they're going around, the need is not met. And guess what happens? They experience some consequence of pain. And pain is a huge motivator in our lives. So when you are fixing their problem, you are preventing them from feeling pain, which you think is a loving thing, but actually it prevents them from growing up. It prevents them from becoming responsible, okay? Because when you don't fix, when you stop, this need is not met, then they are going to experience pain. So, for example, maybe they aren't going to have much money for food this week because you're not buying them groceries. And being hungry is a huge motivator. Now, our goal in all of stopping is that the number two, that they will get off their cycle as well. And some people have to really hit bottom. It's a question mark. And this is so hard for parents to do, especially if someone's addicted. You don't want to see somebody hit bottom, but I've heard a number of experiences, people I know, that when the person A stepped back and stopped fixing things, person B finally rose up to resolve their pain and take responsibility for themselves. And they rose up to become a person. And I know people that are no longer addicted because person A stopped rescuing and enabling them. Now, this is very tricky. If this is a life-threatening thing, I just ask you, please get professional help while you're going through this process, because it's going to be hard and you want to have a professional's advice on how to do this, because it's hard to watch somebody hit bottom. It's hard to watch them in pain, okay? But this is the dream, is that they will rise up. Now, there's situations where they don't rise up and they become homeless and living on the streets and whatever. That's why I implore you to just please get professional help. All right. I'm not being the professional in this. I'm just being the educator, the teacher. Okay. Now, I just want to end this by saying escaping codependency really does begin with the responsible person. The responsible person A is the one who stops the cycle, usually. They realize that loving the other person B means allowing that person to feel the consequences of their irresponsibility. This is called love. This is called tough love, where you let the natural consequences play out. Okay, and then this pain that this person B is now feeling, we are hoping, the dream and the goal is, and our prayer is, that that will motivate person B to rise up and become a responsible person and start taking care of their own responsibilities. Okay, so this is Kathy Weymouth, tunethetemple.com. This is video 3 on our series about codependent relationships. And stop sharing, and I'm also going to stop recording. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope this was insightful.